Three models. One question. Which one actually thinks like a film director? Not just making a beautiful image, but designing a shot with intention, tension, and cinematic clarity. In today's unsponsored review, I'm testing the brand new Midjourney V8, Nano Banana 2, and Seedream V8 Lite on the three things that separate true cinema from just a pretty picture. Momentum you can feel in your body, staging that creates power and pressure inside the frame, and depth that pulls your eye through layers of space. 4 years after the first generation of Midjourney hit the market, we are spoiled by at least a few impressive text-to-image models. So which one is the best for AI filmmaking? Which of them obediently listens to your prompts and composes your first frame exactly the way you envisioned it? Because if a model doesn't do that, it's just a nice picture generator, not a tool fit for AI film production. I've crafted specific DP cinematography prompts and fed them to all three models. Let's see if they listened to what I asked for and delivered exactly that. It goes without saying that for each shot you need to decide about lighting, lens, and film stock you want to use. But today I will assess the output against 5 elements I wanted them to execute properly: intention, momentum, staging, depth, and tension. For those of you who are relatively new to the craft of filmmaking, allow me to briefly explain what these terms mean in a cinematography language. Let's start with intention, the driving purpose behind every lighting, lens, and placement choice in a frame, ensuring nothing is there by accident. It's what separates a random pretty AI generation from a deliberate storytelling tool. The intention answers the fundamental question: why I took this shot? Does it help the viewer understand the scene and read what is happening on the screen? Next up is momentum. By momentum, I mean the physical and visual energy captured within a still image. It's the tangible feeling of weight, speed, and gravity that makes an action shot feel alive and dangerous rather than stiff and posed. Now let's move on to staging, mise en scène, which defines how characters and objects are physically arranged within the frame to dictate relationships and power dynamics. Good staging uses space to show the audience exactly who is in control without a single word of dialogue. Let's not forget about the gaze vector, which establishes the visual hierarchy of elements in the frame, guiding the viewer's eyes. Now for the magic, spatial depth. This gives the illusion of three-dimensional space on a flat screen, pulling the viewer's eye from a blurred foreground element, the so-called dirty frame, all the way into the deep background along the z-axis. It's the architectural layering that gives a shot massive theatrical scale. The final element I want to check in each example is tension, the psychological pressure and suspense built directly into the composition before any real action happens. It's the visual weight, often created by harsh shadows and extreme distance, that keeps the audience holding their breath. Okay, now let's see how our models manage to correctly understand and precisely execute the detailed DP-type cinematography prompts. Scene 1. Desert gas station. The purpose? To establish profound isolation and paranoia. Midjourney V8. Rank? Low compliance. As much as I love the aesthetics of this frame, Midjourney missed the purpose of the shot. The intentionality is low. There's none of the tension or paranoia I requested. The staging is also partially incorrect. Our hero is looking in the wrong direction. As for momentum, this frame is totally static with no indication of movement. The tension is non-existent. The woman looks like she's simply filling her tank, and the only tension she feels is the horrifying price of a gallon. Overall, this frame is a good example of being served a tasty burger when you ordered finger-licking fried chicken. Seedream V8 Lite. Rank? Moderate compliance. Seedream captures the intention and spatial depth quite well, strictly adhering to the thriller motif. However, there are some serious issues with staging. The gas pump is located almost on the tarmac, and the foreground wire fence, acting as a dirty frame, is placed in the middle of the highway. Seedream followed the prompt but switched off its logic in the process. I'm also not impressed with the aesthetics. It has a plastic AI look that I want to avoid at all costs. Out of the 3 first frames generated, the Oscar goes to Nano Banana 2, rank High Compliance. It perfectly executes high contrast lighting and an oppressive atmosphere while maintaining the exact spatial standoff requested. The intention flawlessly captures the drama and paranoia of the hero. The momentum is convincing. The heavy poised stillness and coiled spring readiness of the foreground subject are spot on. The compressed staging is particularly impressive. By positioning the character in the left third of the frame, facing the left edge, the scene feels pressurized and suffocating. This sparks anticipation for what is hiding off-screen. The viewers expect the next shot to reveal it and can't wait to see it. Additionally, the gaze vector is perfectly executed. We are led to the subject's eyes first, follow her gaze to understand the danger, and finally settle on the vanishing point where the leading lines meet. This final glance reinforces the hero's isolation. This is a prime example of storytelling through composition alone. Alright, on to our next example. Scene 2, World War II pilots. The purpose: to visualize the threshold between combat duty and safety using structural and psychological division. Midjourney V8, rank Moderate Compliance. Midjourney followed the intention but chose to do it its own way, ignoring our critical diagonal bisection requirement. While the psychological division is there and the frame is aesthetically pleasing, the staging missed the initial core concept. Seedream V8, Lite, rank High Compliance. Seedream strictly adhered to the complex geometric bisection, successfully isolating the subjects. It captured the stark division perfectly through rigid structural framing, but lost points on the shadows. They make no sense. The depth is well executed, utilizing the propeller as a dirty frame in the foreground. Out of the 3 images, the winner is Nano Banana 2 again. Nano Banana 2, rank Superior Compliance. This image perfectly captures the heavy stillness, delivering an accurate cinematic mood. The broken wing adds to the atmosphere and conveys the division between the characters. I love the staging and depth. The propeller, receding runway, and hangars create a massive Z-axis. The realistic aesthetic of this frame is truly admirable. Now for the third example. Scene 3, Tudor Power Struggle. The purpose: to establish extreme emotional distance and visual dominance through severe connection and massive scale difference. Seedream V8, Lite, rank Poor Compliance. By ignoring the wide shot constraints and defaulting to a close-up, Seedream loses the intended spatial dominance. The massive scale difference is gone. As a result, the intention, tension, and depth are all lost. Midjourney V8, rank High Compliance. Midjourney performs significantly better here, successfully rendering the scale difference and emotional distance through accurate full-body staging. We see good momentum, a slow, deliberate tracking walk. It nailed the emotional distance and highlighted dominance by using leading lines to execute depth. It looks like Nano Banana 2 won again. Let me remind you, this is an unsponsored review. Nano Banana 2, rank Superior Compliance. It flawlessly executes the full body constraint, extreme Z-axis, and deep focus to realize the requested psychological weight. Each element is strictly adhered to, and the result is both prompt compliant and aesthetically stunning. And the final example. Scene 4, Frantic Kitchen. The purpose? To capture frantic kitchen chaos and the precise heavy momentum of the split seconds before a crisis. Midjourney V8, rank Moderate Compliance. I've noticed that when Midjourney is asked for high-octane momentum, it often uses too much blur, making the image questionable for filmmaking use. Many elements are well executed here: depth, the dirty frame pot, and great leading lines. Even the terror in the hero's eyes is convincing. However, the overwhelming blur on his arms and the tray is distracting. Seedream V8, Lite, rank high compliance. It maps the spatial layout and depth perfectly, while the chef's clean apron and mild expression slightly dull the requested chaos. The posture and short-sided framing are well executed, and the blurred copper pot anchors the extreme Z-axis. However, the tension could be higher. I don't see enough raw panic, and the face looks plastic again. Nano Banana 2 got it perfectly right. Again, Nano Banana 2 ranks superior compliance. It completely nails the kinetic skid, environmental interaction, and terrified expression. The chef's apron is stained as requested, and the momentum is fantastic. You can practically feel the skid. The tension is spot on. Dilated pupils and physical imbalance make the crisis feel immediate.
The verdict. In this video, I wanted to highlight the absolute importance of choosing the right image generation model when composing the first frames for your shots. What you want is a model that precisely follows your DP cinematography prompt, not just the one that makes the prettiest pictures. Obviously, the holy grail is an image model generating frames that are both perfectly aligned with the prompt and visually spectacular. So, which image generator should you choose for the job? Let me think. With its 8th version, Midjourney continues its legacy of producing unmatchable, atmospheric, painting-like images that practically beg to be printed on fine Hahnemühle paper, framed and hung proudly on the wall. But we have to remember that we aren't just here for beautiful images. We need precise first frames that fit our scenes and deliver the exact meaning we want each shot to convey. When asked to strictly follow a prompt, Midjourney version 8 often struggles and fails to deliver what I actually asked for. It's a generate and praise situation. That's disappointing, as version 8 is frequently praised for understanding and following prompts better than version 7. I fully understand that version 8 is currently in alpha mode, so let's hope these test results will lead to better prompt adherence once the model is finally fine-tuned. Seedream's performance was, in most examples, better at reading and following the prompts than Midjourney's. But I do have a problem with the aesthetics of its images. Characters look a bit too AI-generated for my taste, and the overall sets lack the richness found in the other two models. It's worth noting that, I guess as a result of the ongoing legal dispute, the policies built into Seedream are absurdly strict, often prohibiting generation of totally innocent images. It makes it an absolute horror for any production pipeline. If I had to choose a first frame generator for any realistic film production today, it would be Nano Banana 2, no doubt about it. While it isn't 100% perfect every single time, it is unprecedentedly precise at following DP cinematography prompts and offers the most realistic, blockbuster-like aesthetics. It seems obvious that this particular image model was built with AI filmmaking in mind. When deliberately prompted with clear intention, it simply spits out frames we are absolutely eager to animate right here and right now. Well done, Google. Let us know in the comments below what your go-to image models are when planning your shots. And if you haven't already done that, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. Thank you and see you soon.